Well, well. Um, it's really all go at the moment in terms of internal party conflicts on the right. Um, Before we get into the Braverman versus Badenoch stuff that's just been going on and talk about that, we should probably talk very briefly about what's been going on in reform. Because now, that the party has 5 MPs, Farage has decided to have a little bit of a cabinet reshuffle, and he's booted out the former deputy party chairman in favor of now Richard Trice, or Richard Tice, sorry. Then I'm terrible with names, but there you go. And this has caused a almost very seemingly a bit of a rift, and almost a case of a lawsuit, maybe, or at least that's the direction, or at least some of this has been interpreted by some people. But wow, um, and I'll echo what we said on our on the little interview we did with Mike from Trumpton just yesterday as well. Really, really does seem that they are going to fall apart almost instantaneously, because there is not room enough for all these egos. And oh boy, once the egotism really starts playing off, you could see reform just collapse completely. Be it either obviously some maybe financial scandal comes up, maybe this whole fake campaigners, not campaigners, fake candidate stuff comes up with something. There's a potential lot of stuff that could come out here and really, really kick, the party into touch in a lot of serious ways. But hey, we'll see what happens on that front. And like I say, if anything big happens, don't worry, we will bring it to you. But of course, I know why you're here. You're here for the main event. And if that was just the warm-up to of a fight to get you ready for now the main event, which is Braverman versus Badenoch, and oh boy, what an absolute contest this indeed threatens to be. And like I say, get your popcorn ready, because you're gonna need it. So before we do get into today's main event, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page, the One Off Donation button, the Buy Me a Coffee button, that you can, buy me a coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there's the Pony Club down below as well, and the Patreon page too. So go check those out down below. And of course, you can click on the like and share button as well. So let's crack on into this then, shall we? So, brief rundown as to where we are at the moment. Just a quick TDLR. This all starts, first of all, with Braverman going off to America, giving a little speech and really saying some bizarre stuff about displaying the progress flag, as it's called. Yeah, really bizarre comments that she said this, but she's playing to the culture wars. And of course, not long after that, we then get the shadow cabinet, the first shadow cabinet meeting with Rishi Sunak and what is the rest of the party. And of course, it was leaked. And what happened? We got Kemi Badenoch laying into Rishi Sunak for his decision to call an early election, and lamenting the fact that they lost all these colleagues, and that it is his fault for sort of doing this, but also saying that Braverman seems to be almost having a public meltdown. And bear in mind, the question does indeed remain: who was the leaker? Like, who leaked this? Because I'll tell you what, there is a lot of people saying this might have been Kemi Badenoch herself who leaked this, because she is trying to make herself look good by attacking Rishi Sunak. Now, remember, she was in Rishi Sunak's cabinet. So it's not like she is completely blameless for the reason why people, didn't vote, you know, Tory. Uh, will she take any of the responsibility? I don't think so. Like I say, remember, Sunak already came out and said, it's all on me, guys. He should have never have said that. He should have never have said that. But trust me, they are going to still rip and tear into each other quite severely. So following on from that, we now get Kemi Badenoch responding to this leak. And this is what she had to say. So she said, "It's now a shame of our discussions in the shadow cabinet were leaked yesterday. If there is no private space to discuss our party's challenges, then we will never fully address what the electorate told us last week. The views of those outside of these meetings matter too, not just backbench MPs, but our party activists, members, and friends who lost seats after giving everything to try and campaign. In government, we had too much nodding along in the room and arguments outside it." Uh, as we'll be reminded in a moment, Kemi Badenoch was one of those people in the room. Did she challenge Rishi Sunak at any point over the last few years when she was a cabinet minister? Don't think so. Don't think so. um, that culture needs to change, and we need to be honest with one another in private and united in the direction that we take afterwards. And immediately, first comment is, word on the streets is that you leaked it. Because this is why a lot of people are saying that, Kemi Badenoch leaked this stuff, because it helps her. It helps her cause, because there she is, not only standing up to Rishi Sunak, which, bear in mind, in this upcoming leadership contest, you will see in this upcoming leadership contest a lot of people really laying into Rishi Sunak, because it'll be the in vogue thing to do during the contest. How much did you stand up to Rishi Sunak? Um, but of course, it only favors her. It only favors her. And of course, even that entire statement, oh, well, we need to change the culture. We need to all be, united. We need to stop, nodding along, in these rooms and having, arguments personally one to one. Was there ever a time I think we ever heard of Kemi Badenoch disagreeing, like, pre the general election? Don't think so. Don't think so. But of course, what happened? Suella Braverman responds. um, so Suella Braverman hit back with another social media message saying, Kemi and the rest in the cabinet should not have nodded along, as they and Rishi Sunak took the party to disaster. The refusal to take responsibility is the root of our problem. This was not someone else's fault. um, but surprisingly, Suella Braverman is sort of right there. There is a refusal to take responsibility on that, and that also includes Suella Braverman as well. After all, she was Home Secretary for quite some time. She failed quite monumentally, but of course, she's not going to be honest about the reasons why she failed, or what she could have done differently. As we've said before, set up a safe route, no more small boats, problem solved. But what is also interestingly about this is that after this came out as well, and this has added more, should we say, fuel to the fire, that this is Badenoch who leaked it. Another shadow cabinet minister who was present there said, "We all know what Kemi is doing." They all know what she's doing. Well, another one has apparently privately told her that she needs to be now less abrasive if she wants to win over colleagues. And remember, the big fight, especially on the right wing of the party, is which two of these candidates do they go for? Because the right wing certainly wants either Kemi Badenoch or Suella Braverman. Both are going to be incredibly bad directions for the party, incredibly bad directions. Because Suella will just lead the party into a really, really hard right direction, thinking that's the way to go. And like I say, we'll see both what their leadership pitches are. Trust me, I expect them to be almost incredibly similar, maybe with some, different flavors, maybe, Kimmy Badnock will go for strawberry, while Suella Braverman will go for, I don't know, some mint chocolatey racism in her decision to do that. It's really weird the direction that they're going to go with, but bear in mind this is the big fight that is going to only escalate. This is yet another skirmish now in the fight that is to come. This really, really is what is going to happen. This is the fight that will define probably the Tory leadership contest, and at least the seemingly hope is now from the moderate Tories, the Ian Dales of it, is that someone can come and save the party who's a bit more centrist. Robert Jerrick, of course, name thrown in there. James Cleverly, also name thrown in there. New Warhammer enthusiast as well. Tom Tugendhat maybe, hopefully, could come and do this. But I think if they are, they can't afford to be split. I think they themselves need to have a unity, almost, centrist candidate. But even then, how do you deal with the rest of the right wing of the party? Because as we've seen with the election of the 1922 committee, the right of the party become incredibly annoyed and agitated at the fact that they now have this one nation centrist that has now been sort of elected to, again, the 1922 committee, very influential. So once again, another battle, another skirmish, and we'll see how this progresses. But make no mistake, we will be probably coming back to a lot in the future of Braverman versus Badenoch, and I expect this to get very, very dumb, very, very stupid. But hey, it's going to be very, very entertaining to watch in a really bizarre way. But there you go. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.